freaking Kobe.
Thank you very much, Riv. Hey, guys, welcome Cloud9's High to the desk. You're very enthusiastic, welcoming everyone.
Hello.
You excited to be here? It was a great game. Really long one, a lot of kills. What went down?
So the game from our point of view was actually very sloppy. If you watch a lot of the fights, I actually just jump into all of them, which is what I normally do. But I didn't really get the backup for a few of the fights, so I kind of just died and the fight went bad. And the other fights, we just ran in a line, and against Lux, Jinx just kind of double ulted us. And we're like, oh, that did a lot of damage. So we just played the fights bad because we're not used to playing versus Lux. And just the fact that I was kind of initiating the fights as the AP carry, which I normally do, but you're not supposed to, but I did it anyway. So the fights we just played really bad is all.
So you say you guys are not accustomed to playing against the Lux. You first blooded Golden Glue pretty early on in there, solo killed him. What happened over there? How was that?
Well, if you looked at his runes, he ran no MR blues, which is fine, but you have to play the lane differently if you're going to do that. He was being too greedy in the fact that he was trying to push out the wave, so I wouldn't hit 2 first. But he took too much damage. He would run up to the last hit, and the same moment he did that, I throw a Q at him, get free damage. And then I don't think he's used to people flash igniting him at level 2. It's something that a lot of the LCS players, mid laners do. I've done that to Bjergsen a lot. I've done that to Link a lot, Shifter, etc., etc. And they're used to that. They don't get cut off by that, or get caught off guard by that anymore. But I don't think he's necessarily used to someone just flash igniting him, alling him at level 2. And he just kind of died for it. He disrespected my damage and just disrespected the lane, and he paid for it.
How do you think he played overall? What are your impressions of Golden Glue later in the game?
Past the lane phase, I think he did great. He had very good bindings, QER combos that kept killing Meteos a couple times and just sniping us out. And outside of lane phase, he played great. He just got punished one time for being greedy, and he'll learn from it. So I expect for him next time to be much better. If he takes care of his lane phase, he'll be a pretty good mid.
Cool. So, Hi, I actually want to get your thoughts on a replay. Our first one of the game is about 24 minutes in. You guys go into a 4v5. Actually, come out ahead. If we can get that on your screen, I want you to talk me through this fight.
Oh, so here they try to dive us, I believe. I was farming top, and the moment they start the dive, I'm basically telling my team to go over and help Sneaky. I'm charging in. I'm telling them to focus the front line. And they're diving against a Rumble, which is very bad. You'll see the Rumble ulti just hit them all and just start doing massive damage. They cannot stay in the turret, and they have to run. At this point in time, they killed Morgana. Who cares? We still have all of our carries up. I tell Balls I'm coming in so he can go. I save him, then we just kill the rest of them. And they basically tried too hard to dive, and it didn't work out against that team comp. You can't really dive against a Rumble Lucian. You just die. So
yeah. Seemed to happen really against you guys. There's actually one thing that stood out to me that was surprising. It seems like Cruiser never really got going. He's a great player, and of course, Ryze is a great champion, but he had a really low impact in the game. Why do you think that was?
Well, the game was a 2v1 situation. He was sitting top lane for the majority of the first early game, so he didn't really have that much farm. And the few times he ported it in, he ported it into all 5 of us. Like the one at Blue Buff, he just ported it in and died. He did some damage before he died, but he just died. The one at Dragon, the same thing happened, I think. So he was just in the wrong spot for his champion. Their team comp was you want to run backwards, make them chase you and kill them. But they were just charging at us, and that's what we wanted. So the fact that they're charging us kind of kept killing them over and over. And then we charged at them too and died a couple times as well. So didn't work out the entire time, but yeah.
And of course, you played really well. Are you surprised they gave you Lulu? I know she's really hotly contested even still.
Well, I'm not necessarily too surprised. A lot of people are fine playing against Lulu. I think Lux is actually a pretty good champion versus Lulu. I don't remember who told me that or who I was talking about it. But under my scenario, or like basically Lux endgame, you just spam ulti on the team, and what does Lulu do to that, you know? So that game got really hard for us just because Lux kept like harassing us. They kept having poke. And it's just a good counter, Lulu, just having poke against her because she can't do anything versus that.
All right, so talking about the end game, let's take another look at a new replay. I'll get this one up on your screen. This is pretty much the last push here. And you guys are coming out pretty big in this one. You're already inside the base, actually.
Right. So this is actually the second time we tried to dive this turret. Last time, I was where Balls was, and Balls was where I was. This time around, I switched it around because he wants to be at the back line. I don't want to be back there. He gets a great Rumble ulti off. I'm protecting Sneaky and myself. So this time, I'm not dead, and I can save Sneaky. And this time around, Balls is actually on the back line, so the dive works for us. And we're also much stronger with Baron buff. So I just switched the position of where me and Balls were, and the fight went much better for us.
Good little adaptation there during the game, I have to say. Now, looking forward, actually, today we are going to have your sister team, Cloud9 Tepes, in the Challenger League going to face off against LMQ. Do you guys help your Challenger League team out at all? Do you guys talk to them much?
Not really. Even though they're our sister team, they they're their own team. They have their own name. They're their own players. We don't necessarily talk strategy with them. We don't even scrim them. We haven't scrimmed them in like a couple months, I think. So while they are our friends and our sister team, we haven't practiced there so much, and they need to grow on their own. You know, they can't just copy what we do. They have their own strengths. They have their own champions, and I believe they can take LMQ. So I have faith in them. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a very, very strong team. Actually, so going back to you guys, though, you guys are completely in control now of first place. You right now own the tiebreaker against TSM. If you win out, you have the first seed going into the playoffs. Do you feel like you're the strongest team in North America right now? Do you feel like you're going to carry that through into the All-Stars?
I personally, if we were the strongest team, it would not be by much at all. I think it's just extremely close. So CLG and TSM are both really strong teams. They both have their own play styles. TSM is just kind of mechanically strong and play to win their lane. CLG plays to win the game. They're very selfless. They just give up their lane. You see him like Link roaming top level 4, Doublelift just ditching farm bottom. So they're just playing to win the game. TSM's playing to win the lane. And they're just two different play styles, and they're both extremely good at what they do. So,
what's your play style?
I would say in between the both. I personally don't try to win my lane that much. I don't think it's a big deal. I'll play to win the game. And if that means me dying, whatever. If that means me roaming top to try and dive at level 4, whatever. I don't really care. So I would say we just have a mix of both. And we're not necessarily super great at just trying to win lane phase, but we're also not super great at just trying to win the game. We're in between of both.
Okay. So then to keep on the train of All-Stars, like assuming you guys go and you win the spring split and you're all going to All-Stars, who would you vote to go into the All-Star Challenge?
Well, personally, if I'm looking for people that are funny, I think I would do like PewDiePie or Turtle just because they're both hilarious. If I wanted people that were like super good, I'd probably just use like Bjergsen and like Turtle. But if you're looking at the All-Star voting right now, it's going like Bjergsen first by far, then Doublelift, and then Meteos. So regardless of whether TSM or us get first, it's either one of those three. There's really no contest on that.
The whole crew's all going. So you're going to have some friends there, no matter what?
They're just destroying the votes right now, so it's not even close. It's just one of them three, and I think those are all good choices anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, of course, hi, thank you very much for your time. Congrats on your win. And of course, we'll see you in Super Week, and we'll see your sister team on later tonight. Got to take a quick break. When we come back, the Evil Geniuses will match wits with Team Coast in our final LCS game of the day.